Okay, great. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. Um, so my name is Priscila. I'm an Argentinian astronomer. I did my undergrad and my PhD in Argentina. During my PhD, I also did a studentship at ISO in Chile, where I got to visit many telescopes. It was very nice. And then I did a postdoc at Stockholm University, and I'm now doing my second postdoc at NCBJ in Warsaw.
So, you're very well traveled. You've come a
I
very
have
long way, right?
I have I
You've gone
have I
from
have
like
trouble.
countries to like continents. Yeah.
Yes.
Like covering a very huge space in this world, right? Yeah, like it's like part of our jobs though, but then yeah, like you've traveled a lot. You're very well traveled. Okay. That's great. Okay, so you talked a little bit about this, but do you want to talk about how did you become an astronomer? Like what inspired you? Like how were you put on this path?
Yeah, so this is an interesting question for me because I don't remember. So
Wow.
I don't even remember. So my mom tells me that I was like, I don't know, 4 years old, and I was saying I was going to study the stars.
Yeah.
And then I kept saying I was going to study the stars. And then for some reason I uh, organized my life in order to do that.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ, you were programmed to do this from the beginning.
I don't know. I was so
Like people
little.
at least have something like a childhood memory. You're like on the
I
get-go.
remember,
Like I was like, I just wanted to do a stars and nothing else. Yeah, that.
yes, I remember when I was like 10 years old,
Right.
I found out that people who study stars are called astronomers, and this
Okay.
was
Oh, wow.
mind-blowing.
The
Yeah,
discovery
because
of
I
the
didn't like,
century.
finally I put a
How
name
are
to
they
the
called?
thing, right?
Right.
And then so there was in Argentina, there is this book that
Yeah.
explains all the careers that you can do at the public universities. And of course, I could study because it was a public university. So I was checking the program for astronomy
Yeah.
because also in Argentina that is good. We have astronomy as an actual career. You don't have. So
True.
I know many places you do physics and then astronomy. No, you here you do
Exactly. This
astronomy
is
from the get
important.
go.
Right.
Yeah, and I was saying that, and it was like, okay, it said 5 years to study, but then I was talking to people, and no, but most people take like 10 years to study, and I was like, I don't care.
Mm.
I can take 10 years to study. I,
Really
I
don't
mean,
care about that. Yeah.
I was young, I was a child, right? So I didn't know
Yeah,
what.
right. I mean, you had your whole life ahead of you. Yeah, like who
Yeah,
cares? Yeah, no, right.
yeah, but I
I think
ended
we
up
make
like
most of our
doing
like
it.
very courageous decisions exactly in that age, right? Because you don't have to worry so much. And it's like the
Yes.
power of youth, right?
Yes,
That when
of
you
course,
can
now that I
choose.
have done the whole thing, maybe if I go back and I had to start again, now I will think it twice. But at the
Right.
beginning, I was just doing
But I think it was meant for you. From the
it.
way that you're speaking about it, there was no other way.
There
Like
was
this
no
was
other
it.
choice, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy about it. I mean, I'm happy about it. It makes me happy at least.
Yeah, I know this makes me a very privileged person because I know a lot of people have dreams from their childhood and so on. And I was privileged because in my country, education was public, and they also I had I had a lot of help from the university and so on. So I was working while I was studying. But then there were the courses had some flexibility for people who were working and so on. So I was very privileged that I had some facilities, let's say. Um, but again, as you said, we are the most courageous when we are younger. So it's good if we can take this motivation to try
This is
to.
something that I'm hearing a lot. I've spoken to many scientists, like not scientists, like astronomers specifically around the globe. This is one of the words that come up very often. I'm privileged. And I think there is a lot of truth to this.
Yes.
An astronomer becoming a person who can directly connect to something that everyone keeps wondering about on a very different level, this needs a huge privilege in life.
Yeah.
You have to be at a certain mindset also. Like financially, economically, your passport, your color of skin, your nationality. A lot of
Yes,
things decide what type of astronomer you can be, or if you can become an astronomer at all in this lifetime, in this time. So
yeah,
this is a very important point. Like I'm happy that you just brought this up that yeah, we are very privileged.
yes, I am.
We've been very privileged in this lifetime. So this is something that I guess everyone knows in our discipline in general. Some people just take it as a romantic gesture. Some others, I suppose, take advantage of it. They're like, you should not be like expecting much because you're at least on this path. So
Yes.
there are like different ways of treating this problem, let's say. Okay, so how does it feel to be an astronomer? I think it's like I feel privileged. But yeah, like what else are you feeling?
Um, well, then, okay, I have wanted to be an astronomer for my whole life, right?
Right.
And then complete honesty, the moment I became an astronomer, then I was thinking, okay, what now? Because you want something your whole life, right? And then you manage to get it. And then
It's
it's like,
like marrying the
okay,
perfect person, right?
yeah. It's like
You get
what's
the one and then
happening?
you're like, okay, now what?
Yes, exactly. I was hoping for some light, that
Some
tells
revelation from the
me,
gods from
yes,
above. But it didn't
this didn't
happen. You
happen.
just got there and you hit the ball.
Exactly. So what I find out is that after getting a PhD, not only you don't know what to do, but
Right.
also some options are limited, or you have to work a lot if you want to move
True.
forward in the career.
Right.
So now we are an astronomer, but either it ends here and you do
Mm.
something else with your life, or if you want to move forward in the career, you have to really work. So I think as an astronomer, at least at our stage, we have two jobs. One is the actual research that makes us happy, but then it's also like finding someone that pays you to do the research.
True. Right.
So
It's patronage, right?
yes,
In the old-fashioned ways, you always have to find someone who's like paying for your research and you have to
yes.
impress them to keep going in
So
this career.
yeah, so first things out of PhDs, well,
Mhm.
actually, before even you finish, you have to start applying for
Yeah.
positions. And again, there is a huge amount of luck involved in getting a position. In my case, I found a position that was basically almost made for me because it was in a topic that I knew, in a topic that I liked, that it was related to my PhD thesis. So it was sort of fitting. But then there is a lot of people that don't find such fitting places, and then it's harder and harder. And then we always have to think that we are applying to a same position that 20, 30, 40, 100 other people are applying to. And we want to think we are special, but also everyone is special, right? So at some point, it's luck
Mhm.
saying, okay, somehow they chose me instead of other person. Of course, with this, I'm not minimizing um, capabilities, right? I know in my
Right.
case, I was the first position I got, my first postdoc was in a topic that I really liked and it was very related to what I wanted to do. So I think I was a good fit, but maybe there were some other good fits. And then it always depends on how well you do, I don't know, an interview and so on. Uh,
Right.
so,
It's a
uh,
lot about performance. Astronomy is a lot. It's one of those businesses that heavily relies on how you perform on
yes,
different fronts, I suppose. Not
yes.
only like job interviews, it's basically how you are, how you're putting off a character, even sometimes, I believe.
Sometimes it can feel like that, yes. So how I feel
How
is
you're
that
running the show, how you're running your own show. Right.
I feel like some being a little bit split. So there
Mm.
is the person that does the research and ensures it, and then sometimes also speaks about this research to the people. And then there is this other person that, okay, I need salary to live. So
Right.
I need to also sell myself, and I need to
True.
prepare this profile of me
Right.
for me to be able to move forward. So basically, this is how I feel regarding your question, right? Of how I feel now that I'm not sure. And I think it is as you say. Sometimes we put on little bit of a character.
Right. So can you describe it with a certain, let's say, plate of vocabularies? Like if you want to like put some words on a plate and they say that this is how I'm feeling about astronomy. Like can you describe it with certain words? Like 3 to like 4 words, like nothing complicated.
Hmm. Of it's a
Or it's
harder
just a flow, or it's just a
question.
flow of emotions.
It's just a hard. Well, I also come from a different country where I'm working at right now, and I
Right,
just started a new position. So I just went through the whole process of collecting all my things and moving to a new country and doing the bureaucracy that is involved into that, and also leaving friends
right,
behind. So right now I have mixed feelings. I'm very happy because I have a job and I can keep doing what I like. I'm also a bit sad because I left friends. I moved from the place I was calling my home for like 3 years.
right,
Uh, I'm feeling excited about the things that I can do. I'm feeling also a bit anxious about the things that I need to do now. I still need to find a place to live.
right.
I need to rent a place. So
Which
it's
is
I
very
think
good.
it's a mix of emotions right now.
Anxiety is a constant part of astronomer's life, I believe. It's like your friend. Anxiety, sadness, stuff. Yeah. You become very, very used to this stuff, like these feelings at a certain point. And I think it starts working in a very different way in our field because you just become so used to it. It just takes it starts playing the role of what people call stability in their lives for us because this is our comfort zone. So I think it also changes us in multiple ways if you keep thinking about it because you're continuously in this flow. And yeah, this is a very nice thing that you just touched on. We're continuously living a certain life behind us because we just go from like one country to another country to even from moving from one city to another in the same country. I mean, it's not the same culture, it's
Yes.
not the same people, it's not the same environment. Things change. I mean, the places you go to, what you feel comfortable with, is continuously changing. So how it like psychologically is also affecting us in a lifetime, that's very interesting. I don't know if anyone has gone through this, but that's something like interesting to study that like how people who are living like us are different from everyone else who's like having a very different lifestyle.
Yeah, I think nowadays more and more people have to do this a little bit because I think the for research is hard the work
I think it's a
perspective,
very
but I think
different
in
level.
general from
Because they're like you can have a choice. I mean, you can like either stay or like go somewhere. For us, it's not a choice. Like I mean, your contract just ends. You've got to move.
Yeah.
So
Especially if you are from a different country where you are
right,
based at, and then your legal stay at the
right.
country is over. So you
True.
really
Yeah,
you really need
you're legally not allowed to
to
stay here. Like it's
yeah.
not also about your job. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
legally not. You don't have the right to stay.
Yeah,
So yes,
exactly.
yeah, no, nice. Okay, thank you so much. This was very honest. Yeah, thank you. Like this was brutally honest. Thank you. I really appreciate this. Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
talking about pulling off a character. Yeah. Okay,
Of course, there
so
is the nice part of doing the research. I don't want to. I mean, I want to also emphasize that I'm very happy to do what I like, but I think we shouldn't. Uh, I think
exaggerate
it's
it.
good. Yeah, I think it's good to have some
Mhm.
reality sometimes.
No, it's something that I believe everyone should be emphasizing on. If we were not so passionate about what we're doing, if we didn't need it if we didn't need to do what we are doing, most probably we wouldn't have done it. But it's not worth this much of hardship, I believe personally. If you're not in it, if your heart's not in it, I believe no one would have
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just too much hassle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the money doesn't look good too. So so you don't have this, you don't have that. So like most probably like what you only have is like so much love, which is like driving you forward in this very harsh flow. Yes. Okay, so last question. How do you envision your future self in astronomy?
This
Like,
is
I don't want you to like, I mean, like, I don't know, forge a path, like a mental path. It's
yeah,
just like, I
yeah.
mean, like today, how do you see yourself?
So how do I see myself? As I say, I am hopeful for the future because I'm starting a position now. Um, But again, I'm sorry that I'm this way, but I have to say again, I know this position has an ending, right? So of
Right.
course, at this stage, at my second postdoc, I start thinking of more permanent position. So yeah, at this stage, I think it's like either permanent position or something different. So yeah, so how I see myself is hopefully I get to do everything I want to do and I get to publish very groundworking, uh, groundbreaking work, and this
Right, true.
gives me a permanent position, or I don't get to do any groundbreaking work and I just move on. So that this is how I see it. I'm not an optimistic person. But if I were an optimistic person, I would say I'm very happy to be starting a new position and to have all this time ahead of me. I have like uh, almost 3 years to think about the future. So this is nice. So at least I have some time.
Right. This is one of those jobs that's quite interesting because you see its birth at every single stage, but you also see its death the moment that you enter it. You know? So like most people, they just don't want to see, they don't want to know where things are dying, but then like we are always like forced to face it.
Yes.
Which is something like interesting if you think about it. You're like, okay, I know like this is gonna like end in 3 years. So like whatever that I'm planning for, whatever I'm hoping for in 3 years, it's gonna end. And yeah, it's like floating on a boat for a very long time. So you don't know like where you're going, like if you're getting to that island that you imagined you're going to like get at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This is
it's
why I was thinking you make this question about the future, but for me the future is not too far ahead, let's say. 3 years is not such a long future
I mean,
ahead, you
still,
know?
it's a long-term kind of a
Yeah.
thing compared to like many other positions, I
No,
would
yes,
say.
of
Like
course.
I've seen like many postdocs that last only for 1 year. So it's not even like 1+1. It's just 1 year and that's it.
Yeah.
So imagine like going through all the hassle of doing a job for only 1 year because you want to move to a certain country or you want to have certain experience that is elevating your CV. But there are people who do that still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like this question mainly, I would say at the stage of our career, I just wanted to gather some stats about how people are feeling about their future in our career stage. And yeah, like I wanted to just like put it into statistics and then see that how people are collectively thinking about this, thinking about their future. And my expectation, honestly, is that most people will be answering the very same thing. But it's always, but I mean, because like this is the realistic way of answering this, right? For me, the thing, I don't know if you've got this question. I've heard this from some other people. During their job interviews, they're always asked that where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, which is a classic question, right? It's a very interesting one for our career because most of us just don't get that contract. So like 5 years from now is like something that is not feasible through one contract. So if someone is asking you that type of question, then Do you think that is something rational to ask, or is it something idealistic to ask?
I
If
don't think
you were
for
an interviewer, would you ever like ask that question?
No, I don't think. If I was an interviewer for a position, a postdoc position of 2, 3 years, of course, I don't think it makes any sense. Maybe a more realistic question would be like, uh, how do you work towards staying here for a longer time? Maybe if there is any opportunities, because
Mhm.
well, some places have opportunities for. Uh, Opportunities to grow, let's say,
Right. True.
in the same institution. For example, maybe you start as a postdoc, and then you can try to apply to be an assistant professor, and then you can try to apply to be a professor, and so on. And then and same institution can offer you a career path.
Right.
But if the institution is not offering that, I don't think this is a valid question because, I mean, how I see myself 5 years, probably not working here because there is no
Right. I have just
opportunity.
moved out. Yeah, but I'm gone. You should write me a good recommendation letter. Maybe that's your job. That's something for you to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but well, I mean, there are some institutions that still offer some career path, and so yeah, I think it depends. It really depends. It's a case to case question to consider.
Right. Okay, if you want to add something, I mean, this is the place to
But-
add something, but you know my questions. There are three questions for these interviews.
Yeah, so maybe yeah, I apologize a bit for being not maybe not so optimistic or not so romantic.
No,
I
you don't
still
have to
think
be. Yeah. I mean, I hate that. I mean, I'm hating that. I've heard that. I mean, I'm going to say this blatantly, and I'm coming off as blunt, but I'm going to say this. Whenever someone, especially a postdoc, tells me that I just love astronomy so much, I cannot live with it without this, or I don't, this is my career, or I just can't do anything else. I just think that I hope they get into that position that they understand they can do way more than this. And they can
yes.
they have a lot of other options and they can be fulfilled somewhere else. So I think that's something that can be quite constructive life-wise for them to just see that how many options they have and they're like way bigger than this field. So it's a privilege to do what we are doing, but also we are very clever people. We are very competent people. So we can have a very good life anywhere else that we go. And that should be like established fact for many of us. I think we should be confident enough to say that. But if this is like
Yeah,
mixed
this
feelings, there are like mixed feelings, I think this is very organic
now
and
this is what
natural.
I was going to say, that we love what we do and this is why we do it, but we we shouldn't forget that astronomy is there. Like the sky
Right.
was there before universities were there. And if we want to study the
True.
sky, we can do it in many, many different ways.
Right.
And there has been many like if we love astronomy, even if we cannot survive in academia for whatever reason, we can always continue to do astronomy because the sky is there for us. So this is my one positive aspect of all of this. So if we end up not surviving in academia, now we know so much. And now we can make use of everything that is there for us to continue to do astronomy in our spare time. And then if we ever struggle to find a hobby and then we leave academia, it can be astronomy. Um, so yeah, this is it. I don't
Right.
have
There are
anything else
so
to
many
say. Thank
also
you so much
projects
for
there.
for
Yeah.
for this.
No, no, not no. I mean, I'm really happy to have you on board. Thank you so much for accepting this. It was
Yeah, thank you.
great having you. This was a great conversation. Thank you. And you're the
Thank
first
you.
one. So
Oh,
thank you so
wow.
much for opening this series. I'm very grateful. This was a great move. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.